For you to perform properly every day, your chemistry has to be in balance. And when chemistry is out of balance, you'll never again be all that you could be. Now, what has all of that to do with chiropractic? Just this. I've talked a lot about chemicals from the outside of the body changing performance. Let's talk a little more about chemistry within the body changing performance. You have a little gland up in the throat called the thyroid gland. That makes a chemical called thyroxine. If you make the right amount of thyroxine, your life is good. If you make too much thyroxine, they say you're hyperthyroid, and you're nervous and jittery, and you can't sleep, and you can't maintain your weight. And then somebody else is labeled hypothyroid. That means they're not making enough thyroxine. And too little means they just look at food and they put on weight, and they get tired very easily, and they sleep too much, they can't produce a decent day's work. Imagine what that does to their income earning capacity. Some of you out there make a living by the use of your energy. Maybe you sell cars, maybe you sell real estate, maybe you work at some other kind of job. If by 3 o'clock in the afternoon you're so pooped out that you can't continue working and you lose a sale here and a sale there, what does that do to your life? What happens when your concentration begins to go because there's a tiny little chemical imbalance? Is there anybody here who would like to go to a dentist at the time that the dentist has a hangover? Why not? Zoop, sorry. Zoop, sorry. That's why not. See, when your body chemistry is out of balance, when you're being poisoned, and that's what a chemical imbalance does, it poisons you, and it stops you from performing properly. Now, there are some 70,000 billion cells in your body, and every one of them is a little chemical factory. You make chemicals, not just in the thyroid gland and the adrenal gland. You make all the chemicals necessary to adapt to a change in the environment. You make all the chemicals necessary to adapt to a virus or a bacterium in your environment. Boy, if your chemistry is in balance, you're strong as a horse. You know people like this. There are times in your life when you can get soaking wet, get on an air-conditioned bus for 3 hours, have people sneezing in your face all the time, and you couldn't get a cold if you tried. With all the virus around you, your chemical balance is so good that your resistance is high. Then there are other times when somebody will sneeze in Boston and you got the flu in Stroudsburg. And why are you so susceptible? Because sometimes your chemistry is a little out of balance. You're a little run down, you say. Run down means chemical imbalance. You have 70,000 billion cells that make chemicals. Boy, if they're all making the right chemicals in harmony, you're in perfect chemical balance, and you're all the you that you're going to be. You're the best that you can be when your body chemistry is in perfect harmony. Not only is it not messed up from the outside, but the body itself is making thousands, tens of thousands of different chemicals in the right performance levels all of the time. You make the right quantity, the right quality, right place, right time. You eat meat, and your body has to make an enzyme to digest meat. Now, if that enzyme is not there, you have indigestion. And then when the meat is gone from your stomach, then you're going to make the enzyme? Then it does you more harm than good, and you have indigestion again. You have a different problem. If your chemistry is not in balance, you're eating yourself up. It is the job of your glands and organs to make the chemicals. Again, what does that have to do with chiropractic? Just this. For you to make the right chemicals, they have to be controlled by a master control system. How do the chemical producing glands know what other parts of the body need? How does your heart know at this second how much activity the legs are doing? Are you sitting down or are you running for a bus? How does the heart know that? Simply because all parts of the body are constantly feeding a stream of information to the brain. The brain is the central computer. This is why chiropractic is so involved. This brain is a fascinating organ. A lot of people think the brain is just like a blob sitting up in the head, but it isn't. It's a blob on a stick. See, that's what the brain looks like. I'm fascinated by this organ. Not only does it run everything in the body, it runs the production of every single chemical. It controls all function in the body. Whether you're awake or whether you're asleep,